RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Okay. Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Oh, and this is a bonus breaking news for you.
We couldn't not.
Yeah, we had to. We can't wait until Tuesday. So many things might change when you hear Tuesday's episode, or after you hear this episode, but if you follow our Instagram page, Caroline basically is on the ground in Moscow, Idaho.
Pretty
she
much
knows everything that's going on. So please follow our Instagram page and our Facebook pages, because anything new, I'm pretty sure she reported Barbara Walters died before she was actually presumed dead.
And by the way, everybody, apparently these people think that Barbara Walters is Diane Sawyer.
Oh. No.
Just people out there are saying Barbara Walters died, and they're putting pictures of Diane Sawyer, and they're showing interviews of Diane Sawyer, and they're like, please, child, that is not Barbara Walters. No. You are too young.
So today is New Year's Eve for us. We're recording this. You're going to get this really, really, really soon. But on December 30th, this was a busy day in true crime.
Was it?
A busy
there
day.
was just a giant arrest made.
A giant. Tell them about it.
Okay, well, we have Bryan Kohberger. Bryan Christopher Kohberger. He is a 28-year-old guy. He was a student at Washington State University. He actually was studying criminal justice, and he was a criminal justice major. He had just got his master's. He had just got his master's in May 22nd, May 2022, and he was starting his PhD. He had just completed his first semester. Yeah, starting his PhD. So he actually is from Pennsylvania. Well, that's where his parents live, and that's where he was found.
Mm-hmm.
And now a word from our sponsors. What are we doing here, Rusty? What are we going to do?
Yep, we're doing the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. Yeah, so we're going to go through one episode at a time. Come along for the ride with us.
Come check it out.
And give me a good like Dale Gribble quote to go out on. Wingo.
Yeah, Wingo.
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 All right. Well, join us for the King of the Hill rewatch podcast.
Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go. Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This guy's about 6 feet tall. He's a white guy. He has blue eyes, which they look like blue eyes. Dark hair. He has what looks to be maybe a former broken nose. I mean, he has a little crooked. He's a very...
I think he's Jewish.
Well, no, because I heard Catholic.
Yeah, but he's in a Catholic community.
Oh, okay.
But Berger, even if he's not like a practicing Jewish, I think he comes from, because usually
Maybe
Berger,
he's just Jew
descent,
ish.
maybe. Yeah. He's got the nose, he's got the look, he's got the name. That's me stereotyping.
Oh, no.
I'm Jewish too.
Oh, yeah, me too. He is an obsessive vegan.
Yes.
And I've heard that from what he wouldn't eat at his parents' house out of like pots and pans that had previously been used to cook animal food or something crazy.
And
this like
this is like his aunt, an aunt that used to be married into the family that's coming forward and talking.
And apparently the lady who went and interviewed them, the aunts, I guess there was two different aunts that were interviewed and they didn't seem like shocked or surprised at all.
Wow.
Is what she said. Because they're like, what was her demeanor? What were their demeanor? And they were like, just like nothing new. Like, what? Would you not be shocked? I would be shocked.
Yeah.
He was getting his PhD at Washington State University. He was working on a research project, and this was to better understand people's emotions, what they were thinking, and the decision making as they were committing a crime. So he went and posted this thing on Reddit, and what that's basically was asking for people who are 18 years and older and if like they were previously convicted of a crime. And he was wanting these people to like come forward if they had never been caught and they could keep it anonymous.
Answer this survey. Here, can I read this, what it has?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Bryan. I'm inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. In particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event that your most recent offense was not one that led to a conviction, you may still participate. Additional surveys are included after the open-ended section as to best understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15 to 20 minutes to fully complete. It's just saying that it's all confidential, be 18 or older. If you want to participate, you can terminate your participation at any time. He does have his email. This was when he was at DeSalle. So this was for his graduate master's program. It was over like 200 days ago when you saw that this was posted. So I have to think that like maybe this could have been just for
Planning.
every graduate program you have to take a research like class, or is this like a thesis to graduate? So this paper is probably done and completed, and I'm sure it's part of the investigation right now.
Yeah. Well, so did you see the questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here are the.
Because here I have. Are these the same ones?
At the time of the crime, please indicate the following. Were you employed? Yes or no? Were you under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Yes or no? Or were you experiencing any issues with your family? Yes or no? Were you affiliated with a gang? Yes or no? Was this your first offense? Yes or no? Did you struggle with or fight the victim? Yes or no? And then open-ended questions is, did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this point. How did you travel to and enter the location at which your crime occurred? 3, before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling. 4, what was the first move made in order to accomplish your goal? Please detail any thoughts and feelings at this point. Before leaving, is there anything else you did? 6, how did you leave the scene? 7, after committing the crime, what were you thinking and feeling? Anything you have?
Why did you choose that victim or target over others? And did you commit the crime alone? Yes or no? And if no, how many people were involved? Did you say after arriving, what steps did you take to locating the victim or target? Please detail your thoughts and feelings.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, so these are these questions that were from this little survey thing. That's a little suspicious. So that's interesting.
They're all great questions I would want to ask any convict, right? But then you have to wonder, or anybody who committed a crime, but then you have to wonder, was he trying to recruit some help, or was he trying to learn from their mistakes? What was he doing here?
I think both.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to get somebody to help him who knew what they were doing,
Yeah.
and this was his way of figuring it out. So he lives in Pullman, Washington. That's where it is, which is about 21 minutes away from the murder scene, 11 miles, something like that. It's pretty close. And I thought it was interesting that this guy drove off to, he drove from where he lived in Washington to all the way across the country to Pennsylvania, which was like 2,500 miles, I guess. And that's where they found that white Elantra.
But would he have gone home anyways? It's the holiday break.
Well,
So was he even running? Because they talked about him coming to class. Because remember, this happened.
yeah, he finished out
Yeah.
the semester.
So he stayed around. He didn't immediately
I
leave.
think he left once they started releasing the car.
White Elantra
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And then he left, and I don't know. We don't know the details of how everything happened, which hopefully we'll find out in the next couple of days. But I thought it was interesting because it's like this Bryan ran home to his friends, drove across country, or ran home to his parents, drove across the country. Bryan Laundrie ran home to his parents, drove across the country. Yeah. But
Never trust a Bryan.
never trust a Bryan. And there's no mention that this guy has a girlfriend or had a love interest or anything. So then you're thinking, is he an incel?
Mm-hmm.
The Hyundai was found at the Pennsylvania home. And this is like Joe Scott Morgan said, this could be like a rolling crime scene, the car.
Oh.
Because you can wash it, you can bleach it, you can do everything you want to, but they can still find blood in it, and there has to be some blood. There has to be some. I do know that they did find DNA evidence of his that
At the scene.
yes at the scene, and I'm assuming it's in that car as well. Is that what they said? They cross-matched DNA at the crime scene. His blood could have been found in a bed as cast off somewhere, most likely the cops. Okay. We do know that the cops had been following him for about 4 days in order to get some kind of his DNA, like go through his trash or get something out of the trash to get his DNA to confirm that it was
Him.
And there's something with the familial DNA that they said they used as well, I guess, in order to get his. Okay, then there's this extradition stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so basically you have to have he can waive extradition. If he were to waive it, it's basically like, I'm going to Idaho, like, oh, I'm waiving it. Take me to Idaho ASAP. If he does not waive it, he's going to like fight it. Then he stays in Pennsylvania a little bit longer. I don't know if that happens. I know there's the hearing is on Tuesday. This is like a 15-minute hearing. And the hearing basically is to determine that your name is on the warrant and this is who you are and that's your name. That's basically what this extradition hearing is. Once they do this extradition hearing, then they'll be able to release all the information. They'll be able to unseal the arrest warrant and the affidavit.
And so we'll be able to see.
And that's when we'll know more. I don't know how much more or what, but you'll be able to know that. Also, there were cleaning crews that were just set up to clean out the house and like biohazard stuff. And they had set up this whole thing. They had the truck against the house. They had it all tarped off and covered up. I don't even think they got anything moved out. By the time they had it all set up, they halted it. They paused it. Something about there was a court order to do it to stop the process of searching. I don't know how that.
It seems so early to do that anyways.
I know. I think I did hear somebody say that they maybe want to preserve the scene. So then for the trial, if he does say he's not guilty and there is a trial, that maybe they're going to want the jury to go in and look at the home.
Yes.
But why would they even start to clean it then?
I don't know.
I don't either. I guess maybe the owner of the home probably was like,
I need my stuff back.
Yeah. Something else that I noted is that could it have, okay. I'll get to my questions in a second.
I did see that, they were talking to different classmates that were in class with them, and he was very well-spoken, very intelligent, very smart, and very, involved and talkative, like during group discussions and during lectures, like almost like trying to prove a point, like trying to prove how smart he is. And then after the murders, they described him as more combative and maybe manic-like. This is just from Nancy Grace just now, is talking to some classmates from WSU.
What do you think about how he looks?
Like the college cannibal, Austin Harriff.
He does look like somebody says that looks
dead
like
eyes.
Somebody says it looks like somebody you would date.
Oh.
I was like, no, and I was like, well, actually, probably.
Yeah, because he's tall and
yeah. I mean,
looks like Pete.
He looks like Dirty Chad. I was thinking he looks like a normal everyday guy, like that you would see at the tailgate. You would see just what, like, he doesn't look like. I mean, he's not like face tattooed and piercings everywhere and has that look. I mean, I have a lot of piercings, so it's fine. But
Yeah.
he just didn't. He wasn't some old fat guy who was like sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks a little dorky, but he looked like he was clean cut, and he looked like he
Yeah.
had good skin. He has good skin. I thought he had.
His
good skin.
eyes were, which it's hereditary in my family too, but like real sunken
deep
in,
eye sockets. Yeah.
and real dark around the eyes, which it's common in women who wear makeup all the time, right? We put concealer around there.
My stepmom and her sister, they have really deep eye sockets like that, but they don't have this. He just had he did have a creepy look though. He creepy stare.
I think there's nothing. Well, I wouldn't pick him out and say, "Ooh, this kid's a serial killer. This guy's a serial killer," but he does look empty-eyed to me. And people say blank stare. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. He doesn't have show a lot of socialization skills. There's not friends and coming out and saying, no, he would never. Nobody's jumping to his defense right now.
I did watch a clip of him graduating. So I saw him walk across. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And all the people before him are smiling and and he just is like, no emotion, no reaction.
Yeah.
What do you think? Who do you think was targeted? What do you think about that?
I don't know. Part of me is is this part of his, did he do this all for an experiment and activity to see if he can just get away with it? Some people are saying this is a very sexually frustrated, motivated crime. So could it be an incel type person? But the other part of me is just, I need to know what the connection is.
Okay. So, they had they worked at that Greek restaurant, two of the girls, Mad Greek. Okay. Would that be somewhere where a vegan would go eat? A Greek restaurant?
I mean,
okay, so let's say that's how he even came in contact with them, because two of them were waitresses up there. So that could be the connection as far as how he even knew who they were. Maybe he went to eat there a lot. This is all just whatever.
Yeah.
And then somehow started following them, and then found out that Kaylee was about to be moving and wanted to do it before she moved.
But one of them had already moved out. She was just there visiting.
Kaylee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she had already moved out. She wasn't even living there.
Right. And so, but she'd come back for those 4 days just to show off her car. I don't know. That could be, maybe that's what triggered the timing of it, because he knew. Who knows? He knew. I just think he had to have been watching them. He had to have been watching the house, because I don't think you just random. I don't think it's random. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see his internet activity, phone activity, because a lot of people are saying that they've seen this TikTok video that they thought he posted describing everything, which I think it's him. And then on the Facebook page, that is the University of Idaho discussion case Facebook page, there's this guy named Papa. What's it called? There's this guy who was posting all these weird posts, just asking all these odd questions. Do you think he only had one? Do you think there was only one weapon involved? Do you think that, why do you think he did it alone? Do you think this? Oh, how about that? I mean, and it was just really weird questions, and he would just post all the time, and they now that account has been deactivated, so they think that he was
might have been him
following that page the whole time, just being super involved.
I'd like to know, because I'm sure, or what usually happens is they had the memorial for them, right? And a lot of people they'll return back.
They're having it to this weekend.
Whenever they had a vigil.
They had the vigil.
On campus. So a lot of times they'll the person will return to the scene, especially if they're local. And so you have somebody's job is to take pictures of everybody who's there. And so now they have a face to go back and look through the pictures to see if he did attend the vigil. There's also a bunch of other just fake accounts going up, oh, look, he's friends. People are saying, look, he's been following Kaylee for this long, but the account was just created.
All those Instagram accounts are all fake accounts.
Yeah.
This other stuff though, this video that he had posted, we think he had posted, that was posted a while back, and all these Papa Roger is what his name was, and it goes back to the early December, where it's just, I'll send it to you. It's just, and I'll post it on the page or something.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting. I do love the fact that Santa is putting in work on his off time.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Yeah. What was he? The DA or the
He's
prosecutor
the
or
prosecutor who looks literally like Santa Claus, and he obviously knows who's on the naughty list.
Yeah. I just remember
Santa sending someone to death row. Oh, and death. There is the death penalty in Idaho.
State. Yeah. Yeah. I just remember on Christmas, like, because I got a college kid. My kid's at home, you know, making me so happy and then driving me crazy. And I remember thinking about all these parents, and this is like the happiest time of the year, especially when your kids come back home from college. And I remember saying a special prayer on Christmas, like, and I said, like, man, Jesus, it'd be great to give these parents some answers. Like, that'd be a great Christmas present for them. And then turns out they were like doing a stakeout, like by that night or the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I also love how they it happened around 3 a.m. when the police actually went to the house and did their arrest.
Like it was this whole SWAT team situation.
Yeah.
But
at like 3 a.m. at the time that he invaded.
Right. I've heard one and I've heard
house.
3, but I do know that either
times.
way, it was enough to, had to have been like very alarming.
Yeah.
And shocking and unexpected. And
I've
I love
seen
it.
nothing about the parent. Like, I don't see. By this time, we knew what Brian Laundrie's parents looked like.
I know. Brian Enton went to the house, rang the doorbell.
But it was dark, right?
Yeah. They turned off the light on
Okay.
him, so they're there.
I'm just surprised that I just haven't seen more of them.
Yeah. And then I did see that so the parents live in a gated community.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, I saw on Twitter that there's like an hour and a half long line outside of their home, like outside of their gated community, just
wow,
waiting to just go and
drive by,
yeah. Somebody's trying to get the first picture of them. I get, you know. I mean, whenever they release this unsealed thing, it's gonna be.
I'm just grateful there's answers for the family. They're not going into 2023 wondering if this will ever be solved.
Do you think that? What do you think the motive was, and where do you think the weapon is?
I don't know.
Part
of me wants to say like
jealousy
and sexually frustrated, but the other part of me is like power control, just to see if he can get away with it.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to do it for his research project.
Yeah,
and
maybe that was his PhD dissertation.
Yeah, and they spent 12 hours at his apartment in Pullman in Washington, and they came up with like all these boxes and bags and all kinds of stuff. So they are like scouring that place. Man. So they probably do have, if he did these, so on this TikTok video I'm talking about, he actually had written out all these details and he was reading a paper as he was like posting. Yeah. So he most likely, I mean, if he's like a research person and like a studious, I mean, he probably has like notes and stuff all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And probably his knives. And one of the things he asked on the Facebook page was, do you think that he only had one knife? Do you think that he considered if that knife would have broken, he would have brought a backup knife? Mm-hmm. Do you think that he used a stun gun to subdue anybody? I mean, these are all those questions that Papa Daddy, Papa Roger was asking on this Facebook group. How creepy is that?
Yeah, but they haven't found the murder weapon, so they're looking for that.
Right.
But they won't need it. If they don't find it, they won't need it to to convict him. It'll just help. I
mean, I'm changing everything. You're guilty until proven innocent.
He's guilty. Oh, goodness.
I can't believe it. I love it. This is great.
Yeah, it took our day yesterday. I don't know how many videos and things that I watched. Let's say the victims' names again.
We have Kaylee Goncalves,
Xana,
Kernodle, Ethan,
Maddie
Mogen,
and Ethan Chapin. Yes. Not closure, but it's just a little bit step in the right direction towards a little bit of peace for these
Yes,
families.
It is. It is. It's just to have a face and just to have and it's nobody who even was remotely, nobody would have known about.
Oh, yeah.
No Jack, no Jake, no Joe, no John, well, whoever. All these
All the
Jacks
people that
and
they were
Jakes.
accusing.
And this damn TikTok lady. Have you seen that TikTok lady? She's like a tarot card reader. She's trying to blame everything on a professor at University of Idaho, saying that this lady professor did it because she was having a secret relationship with Kaylee.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, and
She's being sued for defamation.
She should.
Yes, because she's an idiot. So.
She should. I didn't think that we were going to get somebody in and think, "Ooh, yeah, that's a killer." Like, they never really look like a killer. Dahmer didn't look like a killer. Bundy didn't look like a killer. They never really, unless it's your Nico Jenkins, like, and Pazuzu, they looked like they could have been killers.
Yeah.
But you never, what you think you picture, a big, scary stranger danger person.
Yeah.
It's never that.
No.
And that's why they got rid of stranger danger, because it's usually somebody that looks very
Oh,
trustworthy.
is that really?
Yeah, they got rid of stranger danger because it made kids think that only strangers could be the ones that hurt you, but it's really people that you know and trust, your preachers, your teachers, your family members, your friends. So stranger danger, like, we did away with that a long time ago because it sent the wrong message. And then if you remember stranger danger, it was like a guy in this black hooded like robe, almost like the Grim Reaper type thing.
Yeah.
So it made it even seem scary. And that's not how a stranger's going to look. Somebody who's going to abduct you is going to look. They're going to be good looking. They're probably going to be smart. We knew it was going to be a white male. Like,
because you
I
typically
thought maybe
don't.
it could have been a white female. Like, there could have been a chance, but
You
we knew it was
typically
going to be a
don't
white male.
kill with outside your race.
Mm-hmm. And it had, you were thinking an older, more like withdrawn guy. He was a little bit older, but he was more in their age range.
Well, I was thinking not a college. I didn't think he was a college student.
Yeah. Y'all, thank you to everybody who was tagging us in all these different articles and letting us know. If anything comes across, feel free to continue to tag us.
Email us or tag us. Keep sending us stuff. Anything you see, you might see it before us. And so we always try to put the latest out there.
Yep. And we will see y'all for our regular episodes. Don't forget to
Stay aware.
stay alive.
And always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.